Voices from the Mausoleum is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network and yourunpodcast.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum. I am going to be doing a new monthly video that essentially just gives me an opportunity to talk about the making of some horror movies while unboxing, rather, I guess is the more official professional term, my Ipsy Boxy that I get every month. So if you don't know this already, I'm like super into skincare and really, really obsessed with makeup. You can't see it, but there's like a four-tiered stackable thing over here that's literally full of makeup. And I, on it, just being transparent, I haven't been able to afford to do those subscriptions for a really long time. So when things got a little bit better and we moved and things got settled, I was able to kind of start doing things like that for myself again, which I greatly missed. And I thought, man, I would love to do unboxings for this, but how can I make it horror related? And here's where my creativity comes in handy. So this is episode 1 of a series I'm calling Making Up Horror, where we will open my monthly box from the Ipsy Boxy subscription and talk about the items that are in that while talking about what it went into making a movie. Sometimes it's going to just be some facts around creation. Sometimes it'll be behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes it'll be money notes or just comments on, if something did really well in the box office. But I literally just today finally got to see Longlegs. And so I thought, why not start out with a bang with a newer movie? I will try to keep them newer. And do Longlegs. So we're going to jump into my July Ipsy box and talk about some things behind the scenes for Longlegs. I'm going to try to make this formatting pretty smoothly. This is the first episode, so maybe a little clunky. I apologize in advance, but I'll do my best to keep these kind of short and concise and, just kind of get through it together. And hopefully by at least episode 2, I'll know what I'm doing, because I've been doing this for long enough. You think I'd be able to just know. Anyway, so first things first, this is my July box. So I wanted skincare things and makeup things, and so it should be like a mix of both things. Now it has been a really long time since I've been able to do these, and it already looks very different. For example, it's got like a paper in here about it, I guess, some of the things, but they used to come with these cute little themed cards, and on those cards it would tell you what items were in your box, how much they cost, how to use them, the whole shebang. They don't do that anymore. If y'all are watching, y'all should revert back to that, because the themes and stuff I was here for. All right, so we'll kind of jump into this part first, and then I'll jump into some facts about the movie Longlegs. So the first item I got is Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. And I'm clean faced to try products as we go, which I know you're very excited about. Cute. My camera doesn't like focusing on things. Brightening eye cream. Does it say on the back? Brighten instantly with this vegan unscented eye cream with gold complexed vitamin C. Vitamin C is great for brightening. It helps smooth texture, promote elasticity while reducing the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Inspired by makeup artists must-have banana powder. It also improves makeup wear and helps prevent creasing. Oh, so you can put on before you put on makeup. I usually use eye creams before bed. So let's see. So it's called banana something or another. Does that mean it smells like? No, it just smells like skincare, which is fine. Some people don't like the perfumey stuff. It's pretty thick, like a thick lotion. So you're supposed to just like dab it under your eye. And it's supposed to make you look less tired, which if you're alive today, we all look like that because things are crazy in the real world. Aren't they just? It goes on really soft. It's kind of thick though. So once you start rubbing it in, it feels a little heavier than I like for my eye creams. I like kind of light ones, but we'll see how it feels in a couple minutes. So that's the Ole Henriksen Truth Banana Bright Eye Cream. We'll see how it feels in a couple minutes. All right, so Longlegs is a 2024 horror movie. Right now, it is only in theaters. It will probably be there for a little bit. It's doing really well. It's written and directed by Alice Perkins. And brief synopsis: in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. It's starring Mika. I can never remember how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. Monroe, Nick Cage, Blair Underwood, and Alicia Witt. Great cast. I think a lot of people were very curious about Nick Cage's performance in this because he's very openly, even before you see the movie, he's a serial killer. He plays Longlegs. So a couple quick facts, and then we'll see what the next item is. So Mako was actually kept in the dark about Cage's appearance and what he was going to look like. She didn't see him until actually ironically, his last day of filming. And so she's wearing, a mic on her, which picks up not only her sounds, which I will tell you, having seen the movie, the sound design in this is almost flawless. Like, it's so well done. It absolutely impacts the scares and the atmosphere, and the building of tension is really, really well done. And it's most of what makes this film effective, aside from the acting, is the technical things like that. The sound design, the ratios, the way that it's shot. But so in addition to catching her sounds that she's speaking and her breathing and things, because that's very vital to the scenes that she's in, it also captured her heartbeat, which was at a resting 76, and at the sight of Nick Cage in all of his glory, rose to 170. So it was effective for her being on set as well. The other thing involves getting my phone. Let me see if I can make it loud enough for the camera. I hope I can. So one of the promotional things, which I actually did not know until doing some research to get some facts about this. I already called it, so let me pull it up. Okay. So there's a phone number you could call, and it would give you this like super creepy message from Nick Cage as Longlegs. And the phone number is 458-666-4355. And this is what happens when you call it. No spoilers.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And then it hangs up automatically. The promotional stuff that Neon did for this film, I hope other horror creators are taking notes, because that is how the fuck it's done. Okay. All right, moving right along. So my second item that I can see is Il Maquillage, which once upon a time was super affordable. Do y'all remember when y'all could get their like viral foundation for like a reasonable price, and then they blew up, and so now they're like nobody can afford them. I can't afford them. But it's their Black Card Lift, Curl, and Lengthen Mascara. We're gonna see. Mascaras are I have like a love-hate with them. Very basic. Black and white packaging, which is fine. Who cares about that part, right? What matters is it magical? Oh, I hate these kind of wands. So I don't use a curl-in thing anymore. I heard they're not super great. So I typically actually just take my finger and push my eyelashes up just a little bit before I use mascara, but it's one of these kind of wands. I hate these wands. Like, there's not even bristles on that side. So what the hell? We'll see if it does what it says it's going to do. Oh, I should probably preface this with not being a makeup connoisseur in that way. Like, I don't know that much about makeup. I know that your skincare routine is super important in the role of your makeup and how it sits on your face and how it looks. And I know what I like. And so don't take this as I am not a beauty guru. I'm not trying to make money off my makeup videos. I just want to include them in my horror content because I'm getting them and I want to talk about things and I get excited. Hold on. I'm gonna go get a mirror. Okay, I got a mirror. Okay, girl. Let's see. I'm gonna see if it's buildable. It's not clumpy. It's going on really easy. As I'm doing it more, it's not clumping or building up in a negative way, which is all good. This is the difference between none and some. Okay. I'm okay. I'll still never buy it because I won't be able. It's probably a $30 mascara, but it's definitely doing some good stuff. My biggest qualms with mascaras is when you put them on and you get those little like. You ever watch those videos where they do like what is the brand? I cannot think of it. They just keep adding and keep adding, and basically what you get. What's the total? I actually accidentally hit my under eye because I was talking, so I got a little waterworks going, but that's okay. Yeah, this is good. I like this. This looks really good. I do not think that when your eyelashes look like spider legs, that's a good look. I wish people would stop using that to promote their mascaras because it looks like shit. Moving on. So, all right. Nicolas Cage and Oz Perkins made the movie. Cage is listed as a producer as a tribute to their mothers, which when you see the film, if you haven't already, I think it'd be probably pretty obvious. That's some of those themes are, you can kind of see that. And I'll get more into that in another fact in a little bit. So they specifically focus on the timeline in 1995 because this is during the end of the Satanic Panic era. That was really important to kind of setting the tone and the premise and making it all make sense based on the time of, that it was taking place. This one I thought was really interesting. So while Nicolas Cage was Oz Perkins' like first choice for Longlegs, the other person he thought that would have been a great fit to play it would have been Brad Pitt. Raise your hand if you're glad that's not what happened. And I would feel that way even if I hadn't seen the movie. So yeah, I think Nick Cage was the most perfect choice for this. Okay, next item. I don't know what this is. Oh, Wing Me Well Put Eye Primer. Well Put Eye Primer is a creamy rose-infused, that means it's going to stink, formula that melts away on your eyelid upon blending, creating an even base for crease-free eyeshadow coverage that's more vibrant and long-lasting. Okay, I've got some eyeshadows in this, I think. This is what I usually use when I do my makeup effects looks. We want to go vibrant. There's a blue in here. I'll try it and see what happens. This is the packaging. Pretty basic. Some eye primers I get are like, oh, why is there water coming out? Am I supposed to shake it first? Don't like that. Gross. Yeah, it's like super watery. Does it say shake first? It doesn't, but it should if you end up ever getting this kind. That would be my recommendation. All right, let's try again. There she goes. That was gross though. Need a warning. All right, so, ooh, it's very watery. It doesn't need to melt. It's already melted. Put a little bit up here and see how I feel. So sometimes eye primers are really sticky out the gate. So they're like really hard to put on. They're kind of a pain. I'm going to be honest with you. It's cheap, but it works. I usually use the Ulta one, the Ulta brand primer. It works. It went on super soft. There's a little bit of neutral coloring to it, which is good for building colors too. Okay, let it sit for a second. I'm going to go in with this blue color. See if it does vibrant like it says it does. We will check back in on the crease when at the end of the video, because that's really the only thing I think that sets these things apart, because for the most part, if you put a neutral color on your lid, it should in theory help the color of your eyeshadows. You can also buy eyeshadow primers that are the colors that you want to use, which helps with the vibrancy as well, especially when you're doing like greens and yellows and oranges and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty bright and it went on smooth, which is good because sometimes, like I said, they're too sticky. So this was very soft. So we'll see what it looks like at the end. Trying to see how many more items I have. I have 2 more items. How many facts do I have? Okay, I got it. Okay. With a budget of less than $10 million, Longlegs made over its budget back on the first day of being in theaters. It killed it opening weekend. Horror movies in general have been doing this, and it makes me really happy because it means that more people are going to take chances on it. The bigger production companies are of course going to start making more stuff, but then I'm hoping it also means that indie creators are going to get opportunities to do stuff too. That's the hope, the wish, the dream. While there's been discussions about this being comparable to Silence of the Lambs, I don't know if you've seen this in reviews or things that you've seen, but I have. There was actually another film that Perkins said inspired sort of how they wanted to handle the character of Longlegs, and that was the movie Seven, because the villain in Seven, we're not going to say his name. The villain in Seven really wasn't on camera very much, which is another common thing in Silence of the Lambs. But this is obviously, Seven, I think, is more comparable in terms of being like chasing and out in the real world. There's a couple other similarities, but that was sort of a driving force in making sure that Nick Cage had a presence when he was there, but that there wasn't so much of a presence that you became desensitized and it wasn't effective anymore, because he's not on camera for very long. You do get some good shots of him, so you get to see like the whole shebang, right? But overall, it's not maybe as much as you would see in other films with other villains and other antagonists. Okay. One of my other ones, please don't fall. Okay. Is Volition's Similin Overnight Retinol Cream with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. God, it has a lot of stuff on it about what it does. I mean, it's overnight cream. It's supposed to help fine lines and wrinkles and moisture and yada, yada, yada. Ooh, fancy bottle. I assume that means it has a dropper because it has a clicky thing on the top. It does. So we'll push that down. Give me a little bit in the dropper. Let's see. Oh, it's super watery. I don't know how I feel about the smell of this, y'all. It's super thin. That's really too much in that dropper. So use like a third of the dropper because it's a lot. I also do not like creams and serums that leave like a residue on your hands, because typically that means they're going to be like, really sticky on your face. The only thing that I will tolerate being like that texture is like a primer, like a skin primer, because then that's going to hold on to your makeup in theory. But I do not like this. I'm going to wash it off as soon as we're done. I wonder if I just rub it in. Does that help? No, that made it worse. Feels very grimy. And it smells like youth hall. Gross. Not a fan of that product. All right. So Nicolas Cage didn't do a lot of interviews to promo this movie, to kind of help keep the curiosity going and kind of the mystery around him, right? So here's just a couple of quotes regarding Cage's feelings on the character Longlegs and how he portrayed him. It's the voices. It's not really him. It's like he has been hijacked by something else. And then the next, a direct quote, "I've often thought, what was it that happened to my mom? If I'm any good in this movie, it's because of my mother." And if you're not familiar, which I didn't know this, Nicolas Cage's mother had a lot of mental health issues up until, she died in 2021. And this includes, but is not limited to, schizophrenia and severe depression. And so, it seems like he kind of used those things as influences for this character, and maybe part in why he feels like this movie and his role in this film were, attributed to her. Which is really interesting. I didn't know that. And it's always interesting to hear where those things come from, like inspirations for these crazy characters. All right, and my last item is the Pear Nova liquid eyeliner, which is perfect timing because I needed a new one. I've been using my partner's and I messed it up and had to get a replacement. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Wasn't on purpose. Pretty basic design. Just a black bottle or container, whatever you want to call it. I do prefer these as opposed to like crayons. I do not like the crayon ones, and I definitely ain't using no pencil. All right, so let's see how this goes. Okay. Super, super smooth. Yeah, we like. Very soft, easy to use. It's going over the eyeshadow without any complications, which is not always a thing. It's very soft and easy to put on. Yeah, I mean, this is a great product. Pear Nova liquid eyeliner. Not places to put stuff over here. Cool. I really like it. Very easy to put on. Reminds me of the Clinique one, which I think is $5 more than this one. So they're both expensive. This one's like $23, I think. Which brings us to my last fact, which is Oz Perkins says the character of Longlegs has been in his mind for an extremely long time. I thought he could be a birthday clown or a birthday performer, that kind of person who comes to your house and talks to your kids when you're not there. He says when he knew he wanted to do a procedural, he said it was like Longlegs said, "Put me in, coach." And it was finally time to bring that character to life. Like I said, Longlegs is out now in theaters. I highly recommend a visit if you're interested. It was more than worth the money, I think, to go see it. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. I thought it was incredibly atmospheric. The way that this film is shot is really just a testament to how important cinematography is to horror. It's important in general, but when you're basing a film off of atmosphere and tension building and things that are really more psychological, I would say, than like cheap jump scares or, things of that nature. Like you don't really see a lot of the gruesome, it's really more psychological, I would say, in that aspect, more thriller. The way that it's shot really, really matters. And this is a testament to that. So that's going to wrap up this first episode of Making Up Horror. As always, I hope things are successful and people like videos, but this one's really just more for me. This is something I want to do. I want to be able to talk about my skincare and my makeup products and tie it into horror. And this gives me an opportunity to look up stuff about movies I like that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. As far as the eye primer goes, no creasing. It worked really, really well. It's not as sticky as some, which I appreciate. It just goes on very, very smooth. I don't see any lines yet, which is usually a pretty good sign. That retinol cream, not a fan. I do not like sticky textures like this. I don't like gummy, I don't like the way that feels. It makes my face feel dirty. I don't like that. So probably not going to use that. But otherwise, I really like the box. So I'm happy with the items that I got. Anyway, if you have thoughts on a newer film that I might have seen that I could do for next month, when I get my August box, I'll be back doing another one. So that's all I had for this one. So hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.